If you've been out and about in Lincoln this month, you've probably seen them. Clipboards, folding tables, somebody asking you for 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, to sign a petition. Here's what you need to know about local petitions that are going around right now before you sign anything. 4 of them are circulating in Lincoln right now. They're by 2 different groups, but they use the same playbook. 3 come from an organization called Good Government Lincoln, led by former state senator Tony Fulton and run by an out-of-state political consulting firm. The 4th comes from a separate group called Advocates for All Nebraskans. The first petition, changing when Lincoln holds city elections, from odd years to even years. That way they'd line up with statewide races. That sounds simple. Here's the catch, though. The mayor and 4 council members we elect in 2027 would serve only about a year and a half before their terms got cut short. Meanwhile, the 3 at-large council seats elected in 2025 would get stretched out almost a full extra year. And that doesn't seem like a coincidence. That seems like a calendar built to help one side and shortchange the other. Second, term limits for city council. Now, a lot of folks like term limits. Lincoln voters already put them on the mayor's office in 2018. Nothing inherently wrong with the idea, but look at how this one's written. A reset clause wipes out all the time current council members have already served, so none of it counts toward their limit. Sitting members would start with a clean slate. Only people elected after this passes would actually be capped. I don't know. If we're going to limit terms, write a rule that applies to everyone equally, not one that happens to spare the people who are in office today. It seems odd. The third one is really weird. It's letting people who live outside Lincoln city limits vote in Lincoln city elections. About 10,000 people live in that outer zone. These are folks who don't pay Lincoln property taxes. They don't fund the city's streets or parks or libraries. This exact idea got introduced at the state capitol early this year, and it didn't survive. Senators on both sides of the aisle asked the same question. How do you get to vote on decisions that you don't help pay for? Fourth, the one with the big punchy number, requiring Lincoln to have at least 450 police officers within 2 years. The city is currently authorized, by the way, for 371. Public safety matters, full stop. But the city's already done the math. Getting to 450 officers would cost about $13 million a year. That's either a 12% property hike, or cuts to streets, or parks, or libraries, or what have you. Lincoln's already added over 20 officers since 2019, and a new police academy is starting this summer. The trend's already moving in the right direction. This petition would lock in a fixed number into the city charter and then take that call away from elected officials going forward. Now, the pattern across all 4 of these is to dress up a political strategy as a grassroots fix. Let's pick a popular sounding idea. More voters, term limits, public safety, and then write the fine line to tilt the table. None of this really should scare you necessarily, because what it should do is remind you what we already know. And that's Lincoln voters have faced organized efforts like this before, and they've shown up anyway, every single time. Nobody can take that away with a clipboard and a petition. Early voting, voting by mail, walking into your polling place on election day, those tools are yours, and they're not going anywhere. So, read before you sign, ask questions before you sign, and when these hit the ballot in November, show up like you always have.